What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Duckworth. I'm here on a beautiful rainy day in Five Points, McHenry, and whatever the other street is here in Modesto, California. And I'm here to kind of put my vision out to you, my direction. Me and a couple friends of mine are starting a website about people's stories. We want to give people a voice. A lot of people in this day and age and in this economy are struggling and don't feel like they're being heard. I heard it put on a radio show once that there's two things that people need. Number one is to be loved unconditionally, and number two is to be heard, to have a voice. And we're starting a movement, a grassroots movement of giving people stories out there, giving them a voice to be heard. There's a lot of people out there struggling and desperate and just trying to survive in these times. And so what we're doing is we're going to start a video movement here on YouTube and on Facebook. And we're asking that you film yourself or with a webcam or a camcorder to put your story out there, what's really going on with you. If you're struggling or if you're succeeding, you know, who you love, what kids you have, what are you doing to make it through this time. Really trying to make a difference in people's lives. A little bit about me and how this came to pass. I was married for 20 years. I have 5 wonderful kids. Michael, who's at Sac State. Matthew, who's getting ready to go in Navy. Nicholas, who's just, like me. Haley, my daughter, who is, my little princess. And my youngest son, Elijah, the little prophet, and the great little boy and love bug he is. And I was married for 20 years. I'm here in Modesto because this city changed my life. It's where I found God, where I originally sobered up. I was an alcoholic at 14, a drug addict, and that was my higher power, that was my God. And I did everything around that and made all the bad decisions and choices that alcoholism and drug addiction brings. And here in Modesto, my life changed. I worked the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I went to Bible college. I had a successful life. But if you fast forward 20 years later, my life came crashing in at the start of the fall of the economy. My wife for 20 years asked me for a divorce, and instead of turning to God or to friends, I turned back to alcohol. And over the last 2 years, I've been struggling like everybody else, struggling just to get by, to survive. I've kind of been screwed over by the government. I've had all these little things happen to me, and I've made a lot of bad choices around them. But yet, somehow, some way, I get up every day and I believe that this day is going to be better than the last. And I thank God, for that. There's a line that I heard that, a man doesn't know how much he needs God till God is all he has left. And for me, that sound, at first that sounded like a sad statement because God is all I had. But then I realized that if God is for me, who can be against me? Also, there was something else that I heard somebody else say, that with his alcoholism, he had to come to a place to either choose to die or to choose to live. And I choose to live, and life for me is a life with Christ. It's a life to give back and have meaning and to make a difference in people's lives. So that's what I'm out here doing. What I want you to do is that if you agree with this, if you like what you just heard, hit the like button right here on Facebook. Also, like I said earlier, find a video cam, a webcam, and film yourself. Tell us your story. Tell us what makes you tick. What's your hopes and dreams and desires, your experience, strength, and hope. Tell us whatever you're doing in life to make it through these times. There's a lot of struggling people out there right now. I can see it on people's faces everywhere I go. The videos we've done already, people are looking for hope, and maybe, just maybe, your story, what you've done or what you're going through, if you're succeeding or you're failing, can help somebody out. Maybe there's a lost loved one. And I'll finish this with this. I'll finish this little story with this. I was walking behind my dad's house here in Modesto, and I ran across a man sleeping in a garbage bag, and I just walked past him, you know, and something inside me said that, you know, aren't you gonna check if he's alive? Aren't you gonna check if he's okay? And I went back and I touched this guy on the shoulder and I startled him, and you know, he got up and I said, well, what's your story? And he told me he was a Vietnam vet, that, you know, when he was in Vietnam, he got addicted to heroin, and, you know, and he got clean for a time, and he had a beautiful wife and kids, and he has grandkids. But about 10 years ago, he started struggling, and he relapsed and went out and used the heroin. He's been on the street for almost 10 years now, and I thought in my heart, as he was telling me all this, he's got to have somebody looking for him. He's got to have grandkids looking for him, or his children, and someone needs to know that this guy's okay, you know. And that's when this vision, he didn't have a voice. He really didn't have anybody that had his back. I mean, he could go to the mission line and get fed, and he could go, but nobody's really his advocate. And that's what this mission's about, and this vision's about, is becoming people's advocate, to give them a voice to let them tell their own story of what's really going on. And that's what I want to do for you. I tell you, I'll shut up after this, I promise. I talk a lot too, so you'll hear me. Anybody that knows me over the last couple of years, I'm passionate about life, and I through this vision, I've got my passion back. But life is beautiful. You know, there's a line from the Nikki Sixx song, "It's nothing like your own funeral to make you feel alive." You know, I've had a couple funerals, a couple setbacks in my life that I just felt like giving up. But today, through this mission, through this vision, we can give you a voice and we can make a difference. And please hit the like button right there on Facebook. Film yourself. My email address will be there. Send your email to you. We get posted there on Facebook and on our own website, which is under construction to come soon. Love you. Bye.